What is a quadratic equation? A quadratic equation is an equation whose highest power of the unknown is 2. A quadratic equation is an equation whose highest power of the unknown is 2. Look at it. If I have 2s squared plus 3s plus 1 equals to 0. Now, this is an example of a quadratic equation. Why? Because the power of s here is 2. So when you see any mathematics question, the power of s is 2. It must be 2 for it to be a quadratic equation. If it's not 2, then it's not a quadratic equation. So if I have 2s squared plus 3s plus 1, this is an example of a quadratic equation. Why is it a quadratic equation? Because the power of s here is 2. If I remove these 2, it's no longer a quadratic equation. So what makes any equation quadratic is the fact that the power of s is 2. So when you see any mathematical question, you are seeing s squared, y squared, b squared, a squared, z squared, and so on. Just know that it's quadratic equation. Alright, in solving a quadratic equation, we have 4 ways of solving a quadratic equation. We have 4 ways of solving a quadratic equation. We have the factorization method, we have the formula method, we have the complete square method, then we have the graphical method. Alright, in today's class, I will use the 4 ways to solve a particular question. You will discover that we'll get the same answer at the end of the day. So whether you use factorization or you use formula method, or you use complete square method, or you use the graphical method, you get the same answer. Alright, let's continue. Okay, now look at this question. It says solve s squared minus 8s plus 16 equals to 0. That's the question. S squared minus 8s plus 16 equals to 0. Now, I want to solve this now using factorization method. Now, I want to use factorization method to solve this question. Observe. Now, the first thing I will do is this. I will use this s squared to times this times plus 16. This will give me 16s squared. Okay. Now, what are the steps while using factorization method? What you do is this. The quadratic, which is the s squared, you use to multiply the number without x. You see, over time I've heard students say use the first to multiply the last. No, it's not so. It's not so. The reason is because this can come first. This can come first. Even this can come first. Okay? At times there are some questions that they will not arrange this the way it is here. This can come first. This can even come first. So what we need to know is that this, that's the one with the quadratic, we multiply the one without s at all. That is the quadratic, which is the s squared, we multiply the number without s. It's safer to have that understanding than for you to just think that the first will multiply the last. Okay, so use this to multiply this, of which I did there. I have this. Now, what I will now do is this. I will look for 2 numbers that I will multiply. That will give me this 16s squared. That if I add or subtract, I will get minus 8s. 2 numbers I will multiply. That will give me 16s squared. If I add or I subtract, I will get minus 8s. Okay. Now the 2 numbers are minus 4s and minus 4s. Okay. That's the 2 numbers. If I multiply these 2 numbers, I will get this. If I add these 2 numbers, I'll get this. Okay. So, since I've gotten these 2 numbers, in place of this minus 8s, I will now write these 2 numbers. I will have s squared. In place of this minus 8s now, I will write these 2 numbers. Minus 4s plus 16 equals to 0. Okay. Now, from 3, I now have 4. This was a quadratic trinomial. So it's now 4 now. So what will I do? I will group them into 2. I will group them into 2. Now, this and this now, what is common? S is common. I'll bring S as open bracket. S divide this S square, I have S minus. S divide this 4S, I have 4 minus. What is common here? 4 is a common factor. Okay. 4 into this 4S, I will have S minus times this plus will give me minus. 4 into this 16, I will have 4. Close your bracket equals to 0. Okay, now, if you do it correctly, one of the signs you will know that what you did is correct is that this and this must be the same. What is inside the bracket here and what is inside the bracket here must be the same. Now, since what is there and what is here is the same, you pick one. Okay. Okay, so this and this, I'll pick one, s minus 4. Then this one that is outside, s minus 4, then equals to 0. Okay, you notice we are having the same thing here. This and this, they are the same. It's just a mere coincidence. So it doesn't mean that all quadratic equations you solve, what is here and what is here will be the same. No, it's just a coincidence based on this question. Okay, so I will equate this to 0, and I will also equate this to 0. So I have s minus 4 equals to 0, or s minus 4 equals to 0. So from here, now I'll move this minus 4 to this side. So I will have s equals to 4, or s equals to, move this one now, 4. So therefore, s equals to 4 twice. Alright, so I've solved this problem using factorization method.